A lot of people at the moment kind of giving us feedback and questions and stuff to do with the 5-day coaching training, which is what we're doing here. Becoming a great life coach and becoming an amazing life coach in 5 days. People are saying, oh, that's ridiculous, that's crazy, you can't do that, that's not possible. Well, it is possible, and it's more than possible. And, you know, I can have a certain arrogance about myself when I talk about this stuff, you know, in people's minds. It's like, oh, what do you think you're going to do? My arrogance, I think all coaches should have a little bit of arrogance. I really do. If you're going to be a great coach, you're going to have a bit of swagger in what you do. No doubt about it. But where does that arrogance come from? It's probably not even the right word, but let's just use that word for a moment. Where does that come from? It comes from the fact that you believe in your clients or your students, and that you know their potential. You know they can be amazing. You can see the potential they're holding back. You can see who they could be, who they could become, the things they could do with their lives. And so when you know, like I know that everybody in this room, just from what we've talked about so far today, I know for a fact, you know, let's go straight for kind of like advanced concepts of declarations. I don't know who understands, you know, how declarations work, but basically I declare for you guys in this room, 5:30, this week, Friday, 5:30, you are all amazing coaches. Can I make that declaration with absolutely no doubt in my mind whatsoever that will happen? Okay, unless somebody doesn't want it to happen, that's fine. But I don't see that from what I've seen so far and heard so far. You're all keen on the same declaration, so we'll have crossover with that. You know, when you set your individual declarations, there'll be like one of those diagrams where you get two circles and they match together, and you know that's our declaration as a team. If someone says to me, you know, you can't become a great life coach in 5 days, to me that's insulting not me, it's insulting my students, because they think that my arrogant kind of swagger is to do with what I do. It's got nothing to do with what I do, other than as a facilitator. It's got to do with the fact, can you guys be amazing coaches in 5 days? And the answer is absolutely you can. Okay, and I'll explain that on several levels. It's really, really important that I do this, because you know, if anybody's got any doubts. First point, some of the best coaches that I know in the world have never had any training. Fact. Some of the worst coaches I've ever met have had a lot of training. Fact. You see, like someone that springs into my mind, a friend of mine, Mike, in the UK, he sells cars, okay, but he's actually a management consultant for a massive car organisation now, automobile company, whatever you call them. But his background, he's a 15-year-old, he started selling cars and he's worked his way through that whole corporate ladder. But he's one of the best coaches. Now, would he describe himself as a life coach? No, he described himself as a coach consultant for the automobile industry. But I've seen him, I've seen what he does. He works with young guys that are just starting their careers and are low on confidence and confused about what direction, what pathway they take in life, and relationship issues and all kinds of stuff. And he helps them with everything. He's the best, you know, he's one of the best life coaches I've seen in action. His training, action, experience, specialist knowledge, self-belief, belief in the people he works with. You can tell he's one of these people. He loves people. So these young kids that he works with, he just believes in them. And so that's one point that I would make. Number 2 point I would make, I don't necessarily very often go around asking people to give testimonials for these courses. It's, you know, sometimes I do if I remember, but most of the time I don't even remember. But you've just got to go and look at the website and see what people are saying about the experience they have doing this training. Okay, it's not about me, it's about the pathway that I give them the space. That's what I do. I create an environment. When you make a declaration, and you do this with your clients and the people you're going to work with, when you declare, I declare for you amazingness. You're going to have an amazing time. You're going to be an amazing coach. When you do that, you create this bubble, you create this space. And guess what? Within that space, amazing things show up. Could do it in 2 days or 3 days. Most of you in 3 days will be seeing yourselves in a very different way in terms of your coaching skills. You will believe that you are a great life coach. So we could stop on Wednesday, you know, go to the pub and watch the football for 2 days or something. It's like, you know, again, there's a bit of an arrogance in that statement, but it's true. I just do 5 days just to make certain, and for other reasons that you'll see. But the point is, you know, that's point number 2. Point number 1. Some of the best coaches I know have done no training, so 5 days is actually a lot of time. Number 2, it doesn't need to take 5 days, okay? And you've just got to look at the testimonials, the reviews of people that go on this course to see what happens. Number 3, It's the type of coaching and how much coaching you do. Already, we've been here, a couple of hours. You've all done some coaching. I've already seen you in your realm as a coach, coaching another person. And I've seen you cheerleading for the other person. I've seen you drawing out wonderful information. I've seen you being empathetic. I've seen some great warmth. I've heard stories. In fact, I've heard people telling stories when they've introduced their client without telling the client's story. They've told another story that helps to demonstrate something they're trying to explain. One of the things that's really interesting, somebody here said, I suppose everybody does this. No, they don't. If you ever hear yourself saying, I suppose everybody does this, they probably don't. You're probably talking about something that comes really naturally to you as part of your energetic, strength kit. So what was my point there? You're already doing coaching. Here's my big belief. Everybody in this room, you're already a coach. Everybody in the world is already a coach. Everybody in the world who is a parent or a teacher or has worked in a job with other people or has been in a family, you've all done coaching. You're all doing it all the time. Point is, most people aren't very good at it, technically. And one of the reasons for that is that they're put into a weakness zone for reasons I'll get into as the week goes on, but they're put into situations where they're naturally performing something they're not good at. And all the things they're wonderful at are just hiding below the surface or are being pushed to the corner. This week, a lot of this week is about freeing you to do things the way that naturally is in your strength zone. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. My belief is you're already coaches, and you're already great coaches. I just need to show you how to kind of get out of your own way at times or see different potential, different possibilities, different directions that you can take to just tune into that. So that's my belief. So if my belief is true, that everybody's just got that waiting to be born or to re-emerge, then my job's easy. Again, 5 days is a long time. We could do it in 2 or 3. No problem at all. Just got to spend some time giving you a pep talk and building up your confidence and things like that. A lot of people who say you can't become a life coach in 5 days, well, that's their beliefs. Let them share those beliefs around. That's fine. I do not subscribe to that. I really don't. And I know that a lot of people that get funny with that stuff, it's because they've spent $5,000, $10,000 doing some 2-year correspondence thing, and they're not seeing any clients, and they're holding themselves back, and they want to justify that decision. And it's not a criticism. It's just there are different ways to get to the same point. You can do the 2-year one, you can do the 5-day one, but it's not a destination. It's just a station on the journey. I mean, I never stop learning, ever. It's another point, that I've got 20 different answers to this whole 5-day controversy. And, I've been a coach for decades now, in like 15 years or something. I've thought of myself with that mindset, and I never stop learning and studying and reading and that stuff. So it's never, it's coaching, it's not a destination, but that station that you will reach by the end of this week is the station at which you can do anything you want to.